Hello there. I just thought I would roll camera. The trip is finished, and I'm taking it out in my first camp, proper camp, with almost a completed vehicle on my own. I'm down in Bunbury, which is about 2 hours south of where I live. I'm doing some flying training at the Aero Club here, and it's just a beautiful natural forest, this little campsite. And reflecting on the vehicle build and what it ended up. I'm back in a troop carrier. I prefer the troop carrier. I prefer its compactness. I prefer its simplicity, and it is simple. It is a far more simple vehicle, even though we've made it complicated by putting in quite a complicated electrical system, because we want to do things with the electrical system which I had no interest doing in the troop carrier or the Dream Tourer, and that is of course induction cooking. And even at this stage now, I am a little dissatisfied with the complexity of the electrical system, but only a little. The thing is that somebody actually posted a comment, and I thought very apt. He or she said, Is the juice worth the squeeze? And of course he was referring to the complexity to enable me to do induction cooking, which was the larger inverter, the AC power system, which had to be installed, and of course now bigger batteries. And I'm now starting my experiment with induction cooking. I will know within, and I'm not going to do the review really soon, because I want to really understand it and then come to a conclusion. And even if my conclusion is yes, it's worth it, I'm hoping it is, obviously, because I've put in the time and effort and spent the money, but I want to be able to say, okay, it's worth it, but expect to do the following, okay, and then these are the rewards, and you can decide whether those rewards are worth it. For example, if it's really windy, you love camping on the beach, hey, it's a no-brainer, fantastic, wonderful. However, if you like going to the beach a lot, but you stay in there for a long time, how are you going to replenish the electricity? You're going to need to take large, significant number of wattage of solar blankets, solar panels, to replenish the fuel. Now, if you're able to do that, then great. But again, that in logic says, well, that means that I need to put a lot of current back into the batteries to replace what I'm taking out while cooking. Therefore, I need not only large solar blankets, but I need this charger to be, and I've got a 50 amp charger in this. Is that going to be enough? I think so. But it's a larger one, because normally I would have thought 30's plenty. And Heine said, well, actually, maybe, why don't you fit a bigger one? Because then you have the ability to use the bigger one. So again, it's an experiment. And I will, on this, I'm not going to do a costing on this build. I decided not to do it, because also it's not realistic. I spent so much of my own time working on it. I installed 90% of the electrics myself. I had some great guidance from the guys at Klarman. I did all the interior, the overhead panel, the center console. I'm going to build a center floor console, actually, because none of the ones that are available will work with the fridge that I've got between the seats. So I'm going to have to make one myself, find a solution myself. But I have done more than in most of my builds in terms of work myself, but quite a bit more in some ways. So I'm not going to put a money sum to it, but I will with the induction cooking. And I would say that I wouldn't say a particularly advanced induction cooking. I might have the equivalent of a starter pack induction cooking. You can get away with a 2 kilowatt inverter with induction cooking. You can. I've got a 3. So anyway, I will basically be able to say, you know, it's wonderful. I'm hoping to say it's wonderful. I think this will be the case. It's wonderful, but there's a cost in money, cost in complexities, cost in weight, etc. over gas. But think about it. It's like an electric car. If you can, my home now, and if you haven't seen the video, I did a video a couple of months back on my home, and I've turned it, we call it our urban farm. We've got a little farm. It is 100% solar powered. 100%. But for winter, I'm going to have to use some gas, because I don't believe I'm going to be charging my house batteries to the point where I can rely on them for evening. I would like to be able to create 100% of the energy that I use. Now, I've had often asked the question, what do you think of RVs, EVs, and off-roading, overlanding? And my answer is the same as with this. Imagine being able to do absolutely everything and not have to go to the store. In other words, get all your energy from the sun. All right. Obviously, this is a diesel-powered engine, but I can do everything else. Okay, in theory, I can do everything else, but for the diesel engine. So, isn't that nice? I think that's nice, to be able to do everything from the power of the sun and not have to buy gas or burn gas. And, of course, it's a fossil fuel. And I think the entire world is waking up to the fact that actually burning fossil fuels is not a long-term solution to the planet's survival. Let's be smart and find ways of being smart about it. Within practical terms, we've still got to eat and live, make a living, etc. And I'll be long gone off this earth before it becomes a catastrophic. If it becomes a catastrophic problem, I'll be long gone. But I still think that this is a time where we need to do it. Everybody needs to do it now, because we have to think about our children's children, etc. EVs and overlanding, it's not just about the range of the vehicle. That's only one thing. See here, this thing has got a safe range of 1,200 kilometers. Actually, 1,400 if I'm sitting at between 90 and 110 kilometers an hour on asphalt. 1,400 kilometers safely. Good range, really good. I always say, almost in every country, need 1,000 kilometers, 600 miles, even in places like North America, because I've been caught short in North America with a range of 500. It was about 480 kilometers, miles range in the vehicle we had, and we had to cut a trip short. So that's kind of a guideline. So there's an EV and it has a range of 600 miles, 1,000 kilometers. Great. Okay, we can get going. Whoa, we can't get going. Here, it's distance between servos, fuel stations. There, it's distance between charging points. These are two very different things. It's all very well, I've made it to there's no charging point here. I can't exactly knock on somebody's door and say, do you mind loaning me your extension lead for a couple of hours while I charge my car up? Okay, so it's not just the cars that don't meet the range requirements, because they're getting closer and closer and closer. They are. The infrastructure is miles behind the cars. As far as I'm concerned, the biggest handbrake to electric vehicles is not the cost of electric vehicles. It's the fact that the infrastructure is so far behind, and the investment required in infrastructure to convert a service station into an electric, because a servo at the moment make more money, I'm generalizing, make more money from their store, their shop selling pies and cool drinks and all the other things they sell than they do from fuel sales. Okay, which is just as well, because their fuel sales profits are about to plummet. Are they? Maybe they are. I'm asking this question because if they're going to convert their fuel Bowsers to electrical Bowsers, then here's an opportunity. Here's a massive opportunity. But I don't see it happening. If the servo is saying, okay, we have to convert, and we will have to convert to electric, when filling up with petrol, the car's parked for at most 10 minutes. Now you're having to charge the car. It's not 10 minutes. It's considerably longer. So what are you going to sell those people who are charging their cars during the, and I don't know how long it is because I don't own a EV. How long does it take to charge the car? And I assume a full charge, because if you're overlanding, it's going to be full charge to full charge to full charge, generally speaking. So how long is that person going to, are they going to camp the night, or are they just going to stop and have a coffee? I don't know. But the monetary system that is the machinery behind servos and fuel, the sales of fuel, has to make a fundamental change. And I'm sure it's possible, but it's happening so slowly that they'll make an overland vehicle capable of 1,000 kilometers. I don't know the details of the Tesla or the Rivian, but their ranges are impressive. They're still no good for overlanding, for the reasons that I have said. I would drop this tomorrow to build an EV. I would. I love the idea of an electric vehicle. Love it. But how do I refuel it? Tell me that.
Thank you so much for watching. 4X Overland is truly independent of sponsors, and that means that our opinions, reviews and commentary cannot be influenced by commercial interests. Help us stay independent by joining our Patreon family now. Details in the video description.